All right, I am spacing hammers to the strings. When spacing hammers to the strings, there are three things that you have to do. You have to do travel, angle, and centering. And so I make pencil marks just because I can see the pencil marks more easily and I can erase them more easily. But this arrow indicates that this hammer is not traveling correctly. As I push it with a straight edge to the string, it is moving. It's starting here, but then it's moving to the left. I'll do it one more time. And it's pretty subtle, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some travel paper on the back of this. Quickly, I'll just say the other marks that I put on here have to do with angle. That I can see this spacing is wider, this is narrower, so I'm going to use heat and twist these. If I can tell from the string cuts that it's definitely not centering on the string, then I make an arrow indicating which way that I want to move things. But now we're going to go back to this one for traveling. I've got my mark. I remove the bridle tape. These bridle tapes come off really easily, but if they don't, I would put a drop of Protec on each bridle tape where it makes contact with the metal. I need my most important tool, and that's my headlamp. I like using this tool to hold the jack back. It goes between the jack tender and the let-off button, so now I have more access to the hammer flange screw. Here you have to give it a little twist so it comes out. Now I'm going to look at the arrow starts here, so that means the travel paper goes on the flange on the side that the arrow starts, so it's going to go on this side. It looks like I put some paper on there at one point, but probably felt I did too much and took it off. On my travel paper, I put a pencil line so that I don't have to look at it every time and say which side is sticky or not. So I'm going to lick the side that does not have the pencil line. Put it on, tear it off. And for the most part, I try not to have to take the screw out. It just adds time. But if you drop the screw constantly, that doesn't help. But this way, just one motion, put the paper on, put it in. Then at this point, I'm going to switch to this little teeny tiny screwdriver just because I'm less likely to knock the screw out. And what I'm looking for is the hammer in a straight line here, is the catcher in a straight line here. And if that's all in a straight line, I just put the screwdriver in. This is usually where we drop screws. Get it in the slot. And now I slightly relax pressure on the head, and I'm barely turning this screwdriver. If it goes right in, I'll just go with it. Otherwise, I'm going to go backwards, as I'm doing now. There I felt, could you hear the little clink? And now, without any pressure on the screwdriver, the screw is going in, and therefore I know that I'm not counter-threading. Now that it's snug, I'm going to switch to this screwdriver. Take a look at centering overall. Snug it up. Reattach the bridle wire. Move my tools so that it goes back, and evaluate my work. I'd say it's much better. I'm not seeing any movement of this hammer. So now I'm going to erase the mark. And then very quickly, I'll go through the other travelings in that same manner. All right, happy traveling. Have paper, we'll travel.